Okay. Where's our ICRC guy?
They're doing it remotely.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is being streamed, but
Okay.
they're operating it remotely tonight.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a regular meeting of the Mount Healthy Board of Education, September 15th, 2025. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public and is not to be considered a public meeting. Could we have a roll call, please?
Dr. Turner,
I'm here.
Ms. Anderson, Ms. Bryant, Mr. Carter,
Here.
Mr. Kilgore.
Okay, thank you. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. Board members have had the opportunity to look over the agenda for tonight's meeting. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So move.
That was motioned by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes. Board members have also had the opportunity to look at the minutes for the August 11th, August 20th, and August 21st meetings. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved. Second.
Okay.
And that is in
Okay. Motion by Mr. Kilgore, second from Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant,
there. Yes.
Mr. Carter,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner.
Yes. Special orders, Mount Healthy Teachers Association.
Yep, do I need to step over to the?
You need a microphone. Is there one over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, here we go. Good evening. One of our goals this year is to highlight our teachers and our students with what they are doing well in the classroom, especially the last few years with it being such a negative time in our district. We want to make sure that we are emphasizing, the things that are going very well. So to start the year, it has been a bit of a struggle with arrival and dismissal, especially at the elementaries, with the cutting of busing. But that has gone much smoother, and thankfully that has ironed out a little bit, so it's not such a long and tedious process every day. So we are glad about that. And then also at the high school, they are seeing an increase in staff being in the hallways, and that is cutting down on tardies to class and skipping. So just that adult presence wherever is helping. So as we get into the year, we would like to highlight different things for you, but those are just a few places that things are ironing out already. Thanks.
Thank you. Item 2B, announcements. Do we have any announcements?
Don't believe we have any announcements.
Okay, do we have any presentations?
Is this, yep. Okay, so I do want to take this opportunity to recognize a couple of our staff members. So as you know, every year at opening day, we honor our Teacher of the Year and our Support Staff of the Year, which the board gets the honor of reading through all of those nominations and determining who those winners are going to be. So I wanted to take a few minutes to honor them here tonight. So first, our Teacher of the Year was Miss Elizabeth Nickel, and she received $1,000, which was donated by American Fidelity. And Elizabeth also received the Martha Holden Jennings Award this year as well. So we are very proud of Elizabeth. All right, and then next up for Support Person of the Year, we have Miss Teresa Daly, who works as a paraprofessional at our Early Learning Center. Yeah, can we have one with the board? Can I get behind the chairs?
Brothers, come in the front. Come back. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations to both of you. Public input, I don't have a card. Did anyone fill out a public input card? I'll just make sure. Okay. For those members of the audience who do not wish to stay for the business portion of the meeting, now would be the appropriate time for you to leave, if you want to. Reports, Great Oaks Board reports,
Stephanie's not here. So
right. Legislative Liaison report, Mr. Carter?
that would be me. So give me just a moment here. All right, so Mount Healthy School District legislative update. As the legislature returns from summer recess, which they have important meetings on the 16th, 17th, and the 24th of this month, several state-level issues could impact Mount Healthy's funding stability and long-term financial outlook. With our district facing a shortfall in year 3 of the forecast, we need to closely track property tax policy debates and state education's legislation. Legislative schedule. The Ohio House and Senate reconvene the week of September 15th. Both chambers have 8 scheduled session days in October and November, with additional sessions in, I guess it says in September, but September and December. Priorities remain unclear, but property tax reform, deregulation, and redistricting are all on the fall agenda. Property taxes, House Bill 96 veto overrides. Governor DeWine vetoed several levy restrictions, but the House voted to override his veto of language eliminating emergency, substitute, replacement, and renewal with increased levies. The Senate has indicated it has the votes to override this fall. The impact on Mount Healthy is, if enacted, these restrictions would limit our future levy options, which are already critical given our financial forecast. Governor's Property Tax Work Group, meeting weekly since July, it is tasked with issuing recommendations by September 30th. House Bill 186, which would cap growth in school district property tax revenue at the rate of inflation for districts at the 20 mil floor. Impact to Mount Healthy is the recommendations could further constrain our revenue growth and reduce flexibility in addressing funding gaps. Regarding education deregulation bills, both chambers are preparing annual deregulation bills expected to move quickly. These usually include non-controversial updates to the revised code, but other education measures can be amended in, effectively creating an omnibus bill. While generally low risk, we must monitor amendments closely to account for unfunded mandates. Redistricting. Ohio's congressional map expires in 2026. The legislature must finalize new lines by September 30th, 2025, or the Ohio Redistricting Commission will take over. Impact on Mount Healthy, while indirect, redistricting could reshape political dynamics and influence education funding debates at the State House. This fall, property tax policy is the most critical issue for Mount Healthy, with both veto overrides and the governor's work group potentially reducing levy flexibility and revenue growth. Also, education deregulation and redistricting remain secondary but important areas to monitor as the legislative session unfolds. That's my report.
Thank you. Okay. That's all the reports. Moving on to the report of the treasurer.
No informational items.
Well, we have plenty more.
Alrighty, so we'll start with the easy-ish stuff here. This should look familiar. These are the same reports we go through monthly here. This is just our current cash summary as of the end of August, showing the fund balance here of $5,076,000 and some change. This is the number we use here on our bank reconciliation, just so we can show how those two reports tie together. As usual, we reached the same variance we've been carrying through since, I believe, I think it was back in 2023. We've been carrying this variance forward. In lieu of these bigger items, we haven't got around to resolving this variance, but that should be coming soon now that we're closing in on some of these bigger picture items we've been working through. Same result here for the payroll bank reconciliation. I didn't change the names of these months, so that's an error on me, but this is August reconciliation showing the variance is the same here and here between July and August. So same variance means everything's balancing the way it should be until we can get that variance cleaned up in probably the next month or two. So that would conclude the monthly financial reports. Any questions on those? So we're just requesting the approval of these monthly financial reports.
Do I have a motion to approve the reports?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Kilgore, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Mr. Johnson, can you call the roll, or would you rather somebody else did it?
I can. Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Alrighty, moves us to subject C, approval of the financial recovery plan workbook. So just as a beginning point here, you all should have received this narrative today. It was not included in your email. You should have a copy in front of you. This narrative essentially is a mirror of the workbook we've been working through in a text format, basically. So this narrative, along with the workbook, both have to be approved together in unison. So we're just going to briefly go over some of the major points in here and how this narrative directly ties to our workbook that we've been diligently working through to get where we need to be. So let's see here. Starting on page 1, the first two paragraphs there essentially just giving some background information so far of where we were, situation that happened, and the challenges that we faced right away, moving into emergency. Down at the bottom here, this required narrative and accompanying FRP workbook are being submitted in response from the commission to satisfy FRP item 3. So that's one of the major items we're still working to get approved. And this narrative is going to directly correlate to all the work we've done so far. Moving to significant events right below that. Below is a recap of the significant events from August 2024 through September of 2025 related to Mount Healthy's efforts to address the stated FRP item 3 before. So we're going to draw your attention to page 2 in the July and September bullets here. We figured we'd target these as these are the most recent updates we have so far. A lot of the rest we've kind of covered already and been through. But so July 25, Commission did not approve the district's FRP workbook as it did not include the state aid reductions in the biennium budget estimated to be negative $1.46 million. So that was a reduction, an estimated reduction overnight that we had to address of $1.4 million. In addition, a significant increase in outstanding encumbrances at the end of FY25 also negatively impacted our deficit spending line, 6.010 in the forecast. And we'll get into these numbers, how they've changed just a little bit later. Commission directed the district to update the workbook, resolve the FY26 deficit balance on line 10.01 no later than our meeting today, September 25. So the resulting forecast can be submitted at the first, required submission deadline. That moves us to September 2025. The board is going, to be voting is submitting this narrative and the accompanying workbook to address the FY25 and FY26 deficits as required by the Commission's June 2024 FRP item 3. So in a nutshell, the FRP workbook that you see here, this is kind of just a snippet summary of everything we've done. Ties to all lines and projection years of the 2026 or FY26 first required forecast and successfully addresses the FY26 fund balance deficit. So if we look up here on the screen, this is essentially a one-page capture of everything we have in the workbook so far. Everything that's in there sums up to one of these lines here. So they were requesting us in line 10.01, if everybody can see the line here, we were addressing this number here and this number. As you can see, both of these numbers are now decently comfortable in the positive. That's a result of a lot of cleanup work, a lot of analysis work by Kristen, Sarah, me, long hours of trying to get us, I won't say get us where we need to be, but show that the work we've done in our managing of cuts we've made, restrictions, everything in a nutshell, and be able to present it in a way that shows that work improves our work. So it shows here 2.161 million now positive for FY26 fund balance, and even next year FY27 showing to end with a $600,000 positive fund balance. So while this is good on the outside, the real number we need to be focusing on is here. So while this looks like, hey, we've got some money now, we really need to be focusing on here, this deficit spending line. So this shows in FY26 that our expenditures exceeded our revenues by $781. In the grand scheme of 42 million, this number essentially is what's that word they like to use, Kristen?
Immaterial.
Immaterial. There you go. The real focus here is on this FY27 number. So we're still showing a deficit. So basically, our expenditures are over our revenues by 1.5 million on the surface right now. That's with everything to this point, to this date, that we know of. So using that as a transition point here, on November 4th, 2025, Mount Healthy City School District residents will be voting on a new 3.0 mil levy for a continuing period, which is expected to generate $1.597 million per year. So we'll stop there for a second. And if everybody can see, this number, that levy would single-handedly erase our deficit spending for next year. If nothing else were to happen, that would immediately satisfy that need in this workbook. I just wanted to emphasize that point here to show what that levy would directly do overnight to this deficit spending number. The district has not passed a new operating levy since 2003. Passing this levy is crucial to financial recovery of the district, as we kind of just went through. Additional revenue is needed to enable the district to maintain general fund operational levels and repay the outstanding solvency assistance obligation of the $10,273,000 that we received in July of this year, without further compromise to the education of Mount Healthy students. So just to reiterate, the outstanding effect that levy would have on our bottom line numbers. Let's see, we'll move to the next section down. As stated before, this required narrative is intended to provide an overview of the accompanying workbook, which again, this is just a snapshot of that workbook. You've all received the full workbook as a whole. In additional context where necessary, the September 2025 Financial Recovery Plan workbook submission documents 16 months of effort to get these numbers, where we need to be to satisfy our financial recovery plan. So again, a ton of work has gone into here. I want to thank Kristen again. We probably wouldn't be here if she did not step in and help us. So we're very thankful for her in that regard. And I believe that wraps up mostly. Let me get to this last page. Okay, if we go to the page 8, the very last page of the narrative here, just kind of as a summary, the board and commission, going forward, once we have this workbook and FRP and narrative approved, the board and commission will be kept informed of the implementation of the plan through the treasurer's report of required monthly monitoring and actual performance against the estimates. So essentially each month we'll provide you reports separate from the normal ones we provide of showing we're maintaining those lines in the workbook and staying under where we're supposed to be, right? We'll know if we're over on pace or if we're under on pace and know if there's any additional immediate changes we need to make from there. But those reports will be given monthly to you all to show that we are following this plan as we should be. It'll also include explanations of significant variances in the actual monthly comparisons. All other monthly reports required by the FRP management structure and directives will also be provided. So are there any alarming questions as of now?
I have one. Hopefully it's not alarming.
Sure.
What we're showing in, say, FY 2028, that the deficit of 2.5 million, and then in 2029, the 7 million. I'm assuming that if the levy passes,
It would carry through to those years?
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
And it would also sort of compound it would help with the deficit
Yes.
spending.
Each year, I believe, if I'm thinking of this correctly, each year you reduce the deficit spending from the year before would apply to the number to the year after, right? So it all works together. Every change we make does affect this down the road.
Right.
So
it
yes.
wouldn't, so like the 2.5 million wouldn't just be 1.5 million less. It would compound.
Yes, and along with, we were very conservative in this workbook. So when the actuals come out for 26, and when we'll say if they're lower, that'll also help all these numbers, right? So we got to be conservative in our approach, but not too conservative to where we aren't where we need to be. So we're very comfortable with these numbers as of now, and fingers crossed, things stay the way they are moving forward.
Okay, great. Does
Anything
anyone else
else?
have questions for Mr. Johnson? Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the financial recovery plan workbook?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Okay, could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
And that brings us to subject D, approval of the fiscal policy review. And I think Kristen's going to headline this one.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Yancey. I'm going to be talking to you today about our financial policy review. We were directed by the commission to review all of our fiscal policies in response to being in fiscal emergency. We work with Neola to do that, which is a part of normal operations. But since we're outside of normal operations a bit, they also are helping us revise our policies for fiscal emergency as well. So that's what I did. And in so much as picking up the work of other people too. So I kind of took it where it was, completed it, and now I'm reporting on it. So that's where we're at. Okay, so Neola and our district determined that there was a set of policies that should be considered for revision. You will see that in the narrative portion of the fiscal policy review. I'll give you a moment to find that in your packets. It says fiscal policy review narrative at the top. Then it has a blue paragraph. All right. So if you look through this, you will see all of the policies that Neola and our district determined to review are listed. The first three are policies that Neola and our district determined needed a revision, particularly in response to fiscal emergency. Those are purchasing and bidding, which is policy 6320, federal grant purchasing, policy 6325, and travel and reimbursement, policy 6550. Looking through the narrative, you'll see those are all bulleted with a simple graph underneath each one of them that exhibits the changes that were made to those policies specifically. On the next page, you'll see that there's a summary of additional key policies where we determined that there were no changes needed for best practices in regards to our fiscal policies. Those are borrowing, policy 6145, credit cards, 6423, procurement cards, 6424, cooperative purchasing, 6440, local purchasing, 6450, and payment of claims, which is 6470. Those were all reviewed, again, in collaboration, over several different meetings with Neola, and you all will be reviewing all of those if you haven't read them yet during this fiscal year. So I created a chart, which is the last 2 pages of your report, that shows us where we're in the matrix of reviewing and revising our policies so that we make sure that annually we have a solidified process, particularly while in fiscal emergency and specific to fiscal emergency for all of our financial policies. Okay. There is also an addendum there that has the 3 policies that we did make revisions to, that has the new active policy as well as the retired policy with the strikeouts, so you know where the changes were. Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal policy review?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Alrighty, moving right along to subject E, approval of FY26 final appropriations. So, we're going to lead off with, as you can see here, we'll zoom this just a little bit. This is an amended certificate, which basically helps us build our appropriations. This is required by the county for us to have essentially backup of where our appropriations come from. So just starting here for our general fund appropriation, you see this number highlighted, 43,057, 560. This will directly with some rounding, 43,057, 561. So this matches this is our 5-year forecast that you're seeing here, which matches the workbook as well. So our 001 appropriations, by request of the commission, directly match our workbook and the forecast itself. So that's where this number comes from. The rest, essentially, we take our beginning cash balance from the year before, any outstanding encumbrances in that fund, then you add in your revenues, your expected revenues for the year in that fund, and it gives you your total. And just by, county law, I guess you can call it, we can't go over these numbers based on this certificate. We can always go back and request additional appropriations later if there's any major changes we need to address. But as far as now, that's where all of these numbers came from on the following page that I'll show you here. This is just a listing of all our funds and our appropriations for the year based on that certificate that I just showed you. So all of these numbers have backing from where they came from, and it is lower than last year by design. So if you have any questions as to where those numbers came from as far as our appropriations go, they're in this certificate. Any questions on those I can walk you through as well. So that's where all of these came from. Any questions on the appropriations?
This is my first time here. Will y'all say questions after everybody?
No, that's for the board. Well, the public input part of the meeting was at the beginning.
I was here since the doctor was no, the front door was locked, there was no sign to tell me where to come from. I got in this room at 6:06. Like the front door is literally locked, if you go check right now, like. I know that kids, safety, we need clarification on the shooting situation the other day. The kids were saying that you guys talked about the gun, the kids were saying there was a list.
Okay, good. Let's hang on a second, because we do have a procedure for how we do things. We have an agenda that we stick by. We can amend the agenda, but right now, we're in the treasurer's portion of the meeting, so we're going to let him finish his portion, okay, and then we can come back and discuss your concerns. All right?
Dr. Turner, are you going to return to the public comment portion? And if so, would you like them to fill out cards?
Yes. Definitely need the cards. And that's not my call individually, that's the board's call, whether we want to amend the agenda to allow that.
Okay.
So let's continue with the treasurer's report. No, I've kind of lost track of where we were.
We're on questions. Any questions on the appropriations?
For
Yeah,
item
okay. On E, okay.
Yes.
1 minute. Julie, ma'am, if you want those cards that you're filling out, you can bring them up here after we finish this session right here, okay?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, do I have a motion to accept to approve the 2026 final appropriations?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Kilgore, seconded by Mr. Carter. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant? Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Alrighty, moves us into subject F, approval of the FY26 fall 5-year forecast. So by design, we placed this last to go over as directed by the commission. Every number here in this forecast is based on the financial recovery workbook. So basically, that workbook is put in place to where we get all our numbers where they need to be, and then essentially that becomes our new 5-year forecast, right? So we have to follow the workbook as it's in our forecast as well. So just, in a nutshell, every number here is directly reflective of the workbook. So there's not a whole lot to go over here, as it's all the same information. As we said before, the 784 deficit spending here matches the same. Here's that 1.5 number. And deficit spending in 27 we mentioned from the workbook. And here's our positive fund balances at the end of the year for 26 and 27. So that being said, are there any questions regarding the fall 5-year forecast?
Apparently not. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the FY '26 fall 5-year forecast?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Let's see. Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Alrighty, so that moves us into the next section. I believe it should be titled Approval of Contracts. I don't know if I see the title in here anywhere.
I see the treasury report and I see.
Approval of Contracts, is that right?
Oh,
Are there any questions regarding the listed contracts?
Do I have a motion to approve the contracts as written? Moved by Ms. Bryant. Do I have a second?
So moved. Or second.
Seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Moving along to approval of purchase orders over 5,000.
Do I have a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Alrighty, subject to I, approval of then and now. Are these purchase orders? Then and now purchase orders.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Bryant, seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Sorry, it's been a long day. That concludes my report.
I know you guys have all been working very hard, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I just say one more thing?
Mhm.
I just want to thank Sarah for putting our little team here together. We've accomplished a whole lot in not a lot of time. And it's been hectic, and they've just been patient with, us not knowing things right away and then figuring them out as a whole. So I'm just appreciative of you putting us together. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you. I mean, we hired a new treasurer, I don't even remember when, and he's been in and out with medical issues, and things have just been very unsettled. And we appreciate you guys stepping up and doing what the state is requiring. Okay, so circling back, and I will mention, you said you couldn't get in, I don't know which door you mean by the front door, the one that faces Harrison Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, what you want to do is come in the one back by that's at the parking lot. That's the one that's unlocked for meetings.
Usually we can't eat when all the lights are out down there and everything, like nobody's here. They make a walk through the house, try to find out where you other people in.
I mean, I got here at like 7 minutes till 6 and everything was lit up and unlocked and fine. Okay. So, like I said, we do have an agenda that we generally stick to. It's our agenda. We're allowed to change it if we want to. So, first I will ask the board if, what your feelings are on amending the agenda, given the fact that people couldn't get into the building, to allow for the public input at this point.
We can make a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay. Do I have, let me get back on the right page. Sorry. Okay. So this will be, do we make that item 6, Lavonda? Okay. Okay. Do I have a motion to amend the agenda to allow for public input at this time?
So move.
Second.
Okay, let me write down the wording here. And that was Mr. Carter and Mr. Kilgore? Any discussion? Can we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. Okay, so that's just to amend the agenda to allow for the public input. So we will do the public input at this time. I will restate the statement that we have at the beginning of every meeting, which is, this is a meeting of the Board of Education in public and is not considered a public meeting. What that means is you have the right to address the board. There is a time limit of 3 minutes per person speaking. You have the right to address the board. That doesn't mean that we open up a public discussion at this time. That's, if we were going to do that, that's something that we would have to arrange ahead of time. That's not how things are handled. So you can address the board. I will also say that I am fairly certain that Dr. Wilson, our superintendent, would be happy to meet with any or all of you separately, not all of you separately, either individually or together at some other time, but that is not, that's not what these meetings are for. These are not like just open public discussion meetings. So I have the cards. You are given your 3 minutes to address. You may or may not get a response from either the board or Dr. Wilson or treasurer or whoever this evening, but rest assured that that doesn't mean you're not going to get to talk to anybody or get more, have more opportunity to express your concerns and be given some answers. It's just, it won't necessarily be right here tonight.
So just a little piggyback. If they want to get that to us, because the news lady was there on the day school opened up, the next day, the news lady was there. And she said she still haven't heard back from that.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. I mean, I don't talk to the news people, so. Okay. So if you want to address the board, you have to use the microphone over there. That's so that it gets picked up on the recordings that are made and made public. So we will start with Deborah Harris. We don't do that anymore. I mean, I just said her name, so. We don't
Okay.
do the address anymore.
Thank you guys for amending things. Fairly new to this. This is my first year here at Mount Healthy, so wasn't kind of aware of some of the things that were going on. But just questions for you guys as far as to how the busing situation is going to be handled, because it's been very chaotic, especially at the high school or at the elementary schools now, given the teachers have done a lot to try to accommodate things and speed things up. But even so, they need help. Absence of cross guards. Hamilton Avenue is a very, very busy street, yet there are no cross guards there. That's a major concern for children. Another is the potential for attendance issues. As we enter into the winter months, with this being a walking district, how will attendance affect truancy as well as funding? Does any of that come into play? If there is a lack of attendance, does that affect the funding, which would then affect the budget? So even if the mill passes this November, that still means that there may still be some other issues financially if attendance comes into play. Directing of traffic, like there's no directing of traffic. There have been complaints about things being stopped or people not being able to move in and out of their driveway, specifically on Adams Avenue. So we've been asked to kind of move here or unblock the driveways. But again, the lines are coming so far out of the school that it's then wrapping around to the public schools. Now, to the public street now, I myself personally work from home, so I have the ability to drop my daughter off and pick my daughter up from school. My job is accommodating, but I know there are a lot of parents whose jobs aren't accommodating. So if you have a 30-minute to an hour lunch break and it takes over an hour to get there, get your kid from school and then get back home, that's then going to fall into other issues with income for families. And we all know how important it is for us to keep income coming in order to be able to pay our bills and homelessness and things of that nature. So just a lot of concerns, not a lot of information being passed out. Mainly those cross guards is a big thing for me. Is there any intention for busing to ever come back, and the potential for attendance issues, truancy, and how all of that's going to be handled in the winter months? Those are my concerns.
Okay. Thank you.
And I know that you're going to be available at some different areas,
Yes.
so I'll meet and kind of talk to you.
Yes.
Like I've already planned on that, so at
Perfect.
the library. so.
Okay, yeah, and I was going to share the informational sessions during my time when I speak. We have posted those on our Facebook page as well. But I would be happy to give you a call, and we can talk about some of those over the phone too, or if you want to come in for a meeting.
Thank you. Robert Carter?
Hello, I just had a few questions for you. One of my concerns was the fact that my daughter is saying she's in the 9th grade. She's saying she's in the same class with 12th graders, which was not brought to our attention before school started. Same thing with my 9th grade son, he's telling me that also, and my 9th grade nephew. That was not brought to our attention before school started. And also with the buses, we didn't find out there was no buses until literally like a week before school started. We got a notification in the mail saying there's no buses this year. There's a lot of little kids that travel back and forth, even like at our elementary school. We could have at least kept buses for them. There's other ways I'm sure you guys can figure out to be able to cut the budget so that way we can have transportation for these kids, because buses was cut, but our taxes were not. We're still paying the same amount of taxes and everything that people who still have buses are not, I mean, that they are paying too, which is not fair. Like our little kids, we need these buses. Our parents, I have 3 kids that go to the high school, and then 2 little ones that go to elementary. I'm dropping off at 7:15 a.m. Then I have to go back home because there's no buses because my big kids can't get into school until 7:50. Take them back and then go back home again and chill out or find somewhere to rest at until it's time to take my 2 little kids to school at 8:05 or 8:15, depending on what time you guys want school to start and depending on what time you guys want school to get out, because school's been getting out at 3:05, 3:15, just really dependent, and that does not work for a lot of our parents' schedule. Me, I just so happen to be an entrepreneur, but it's still hard for me because I'm going back and forth all day picking up kids, dropping them off, waiting in these long lines, just wrapping around, like she said, to Hamilton Avenue. We did not have these issues last year with the rides, picking them up or anything like that. Even when I was doing the car rider service, lines were never that long. Like it's starting to impede on everybody's work schedule and just everybody getting to work, getting to school. Like my kids have got several late calls because we're in that long line waiting to drop them off, and you can't cut around. Everybody's going to school. Parents are going to work. Like the buses were the only thing that was working for this district, to be honest. It's been failing us, I feel like, since my kids signed up here 5 years ago. Not sure if you guys are familiar with our story, but for you guys to be running this district like you are, from the whatever they said about whoever stole money, that has nothing to do with us and our kids. We should not suffer from that. You guys have posted my kids on your website saying this is a family-oriented school, how great this school is, and it is not. The support is not there. The communication is not there. Like, nothing seems to be working. You guys are telling us one thing, how last year it was overpopulated. But then you guys closed the ELC and forced them to save kids back to the schools that you guys said were overpopulated. You guys said that we don't have a budget for busing, but you guys just redid parts of this building that we did not need. Now you have a bunch of empty rooms down there that they're not using. You guys closed the ELC to put the alternative school out of here so the people in this building who work in the Board of Education part of the Hamilton County Mount Healthy District, so they don't have to deal with them. Now you're still paying gas and electric at another school or bills on another school that's still associated with this. Yeah, we still don't have budget. We still don't have buses. There's other things you could have done. Like, it's not making sense why we do not have buses.
Okay.
Then not even just that. It's the whole shooting situation, whatever happened. The emails you guys send are very vague. Our kids are coming home telling us there's more than one shooter. There's a list. My kids are scared to go to school, and my kids want to go to school every single day. They're scared to go to school, which is why they have not been in the last 2 days, because you guys are not clarifying what's going on. Did y'all catch him with a gun, or did you not? Because the kids are saying you guys caught him with a gun. The email did not say that, and probably was never going to even clear things up had we not been able to come to this. And another thing was, like, this isn't like public knowledge about these meetings. Like, we had to literally talk amongst each other, and I just happened to be walking and heard somebody. And like I said, we got here, the front door is locked. If there's a public meeting like this, both doors should be open if they have access to be able to get up here. Lights should be on. They are not. Like, we're not making this up. Like, it's like this was a secret meeting or something that you guys did not want us to know about.
I'm afraid your time's up. Secret meeting that is announced on the sign in front of the building all the time. Well, that sign is garbage, and we don't have the money to replace it. But I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Your turn to talk is over.
Sir, that's not how this meeting works, okay? I would be happy to set up a time to meet with you individually, or I'd be happy to meet with you as a group, but this isn't a back and forth.
You guys are going to have to understand that we're frustrated.
This is not a back and forth.
Okay, you're going to need to leave now.
You're going to have to go.
I will continue to reach out to the news because this is utter bullshit. Y'all don't give a fuck because the ones who got kids, y'all kids are at schools where they got fucking transportation.
Okay, sir. We're going, no.
I'm calling the police now. I am calling the police now.
We are calling the police.
This is ridiculous. Like,
we are calling the police and
listening now. How do we not have security at our schools, but we got them everywhere else? How do y'all get this many calls from the police as far as shootings?
I'm calling from the Mount Healthy City Schools Administration Building. We have somebody totally out of control at our school board meeting. We're on the second floor at the administration building.
That's how you show you give a fuck. That not firing all the teachers, the cram all these kids.
I can't even hear. If you're saying anything, I can't hear you.
Shit, but be on the computer all fucking day. They're not learning. These teachers get paid to do nothing nowadays.
Yes.
Nothing.
Just wait until the police get here.
I'm ready now because they have their hands on the police on either. Y'all better look up 5 minutes. That's our family lawyer.
Thank you.
I don't need you to walk me out. I got this. I got 2 minutes.
Taylor.
Sure. Yes, we will.
Okay, I'm sorry. They are being escorted out of the building. So, sure, because I don't know what's going to happen when they're escorted out of the building. So yes, please.
He got too much. He got a lot of stuff going on. He's not gonna do nothing. He's just frustrated like everybody else is. Some people don't got cars.
Okay, if they could just maybe drive through the parking lot just to see if everything seems to be okay, that would be fine. Here, let me give you to somebody else because I'm running the meeting. I have to continue.
Somebody else. Michael. It's like me.
Congratulations, Michael, you're somebody else.
Been nominated.
Okay. I know that the man who was speaking isn't here to hear this. Just to clarify, there was no money stolen. That is not something that happened. There were a lot of accounting mistakes that were made that we didn't catch until it was too late, but it was not theft. It was just accounting errors. Okay. Sierra Alexander?
Hey, I'm Sierra. This is actually my second meeting here. I'm a piggyback on something he did say, which is the safety of the high schools. Like, I had to sign my kids over to their father to go to a different district because Mount Healthy's not safe. My daughter sat in the classroom last year with a gun, a boy next to a gun sitting out his pocket. I called the school, followed getting my child. Nothing really happened. He ended up back in school 9 days later, the same person. Mount Healthy didn't do nothing. It's not safe. I'm not here for really that. My daughter's a 10-year asthmatic. Her walking from where we live at is a 38-minute walk. In a minute, it will be dark at 7-something in the morning. It's going to start getting dark in a minute here. She's a little child. She can't fight a grown person to try to grab her. On top of that, the sidewalks is not really a sidewalk. It's grass and street. That's not safe. It's not safe. And I feel like transportation, I'm one of the mothers that had to choose get my kid to school or quit a job. My job did not want to accommodate the time me getting her there or picking her back up. So I had to quit a job and become a home mom. So now I'm trying to figure out where I have to pay, how I can fund my bills, plus take care of my kids. This has been terrible. Like, this is my first time experiencing this, and I don't want to say it, but I feel like my worst mistake was moving in this district. This school district is no help. It's no help for the mothers that need help. So with that being said, my nephew, he's 12. He's a little 12-year-old. A lot of his kids around his area, their mothers picked him up. He walked a 48-minute walk to get home for a 12-year-old little boy soaking wet under 100 pounds. That's not fair. I don't care if they could set up a couple vans to go in this section of carpool or something. Like, something have to be addressed about the transportation. Like, I don't know what is the funding, what y'all could cut back on. People get food stamps. Majority of y'all classes, they get benefits, food benefits. Make them pack their kids' lunch. If they can cut that lunch back to where you get transportation, we would choose transportation over lunch. Like,
all of our students get free lunch.
But however, whatever in the budget that need to be cut back so these babies can get to school, because I'm going to be a parent that they're going to charge me for truancy because my child is not walking to school. There's going to be times I can't make her to school because I'm going to try to find a new job to get benefits for my home. And they do, it's like, it's nonchalance when I come in these meetings. I want to know when the meeting where y'all could talk back. I don't really care for this meeting with the budget stuff. I'd rather get someone to answer the questions because it's not fair. These babies can't walk in Compton. It's a bar right there. They shoot out, they fight. Our babies have to walk past that to get home. It's a dangerous bar. They hang out all day. The police ain't doing nothing about it. They be drunk early, fighting, and all type of stuff. That's not fair for a kid to walk past. No crossing guards, no nothing. Hamilton, I'm getting my child the other day. They almost hit a kid on Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's too busy.
Yeah. Your time is up. Thank you. I do want to thank you guys for coming and talking to us. I'm like I said, this is not a back and forth. This is not a public meeting in that we're going to hash out all of these. And I'm sure, if you contact Dr. Wilson, she'll be happy to meet with you. But I will say, for the last couple of years when we've been dealing with these financial issues, our administrative team has had to make the hardest decisions you can imagine. And it's always, well, do we have to do, we cut so many teachers, and that killed us to do that. And we understand that's an issue with safety and with, teaching, with education.
Trafficking is real, too. I hope y'all keep in mind on that, too. Trafficking is real. They snatch kids all the time. And if mine's got to stay home every fucking day,
Okay.
I'm not dealing with that type of stuff. She won't, yeah, it's school. She won't, let's go.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Move right along.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, I know these folks have real concerns, but we did what we have to do, to keep the schools going. We do have a levy. Hopefully that will help a little bit, some of the burdens and stuff. I put these parents,
Well, we all
kids
do,
go
and,
to
and,
school, I hate that. And my wife's the bus driver for 25 plus years here in Mount Health, and she loved the kids. That was her job, and she loved the kids, take them to and from school. And it hurts her when she drives them down Hamilton Avenue and sees these poor kids walking. And there's not a thing she can do about it.
Yeah.
She talked about coming back and volunteering time, but, that didn't work.
yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I understand the frustration, I really do. My kids went to, I only had two sons. They both went to Mount Healthy, but because of the way their ages spaced out, I had sons attending Mount Healthy schools for 21 straight years. I understand everyone's concerns, but hopefully people also understand that money is a real thing, and we can't pull it out of thin air. We don't have the money for the transportation right now, and we had to go down to state minimums. If people are upset that the state sets the minimums where they do, they can contact their legislators. That's not our decision. But the decisions that had to be made over the last couple of years have been very difficult. And it comes down to, teachers. You can't give up teachers. Well, you can't give up security. You can't give up busing. And you can't give up this, and you can't give up that, and then the state says, well, you have to give up 5 of those things, decide which ones. So there's frustration going, more than one direction here, just because a lot of decisions have had to be made that nobody wanted to make, but we haven't had a choice either. So, okay. Dr. Wilson, did you want to say anything else, or should we just move on? It's your portion of the meeting
Sure,
anyway.
that I am truly happy to meet with anyone individually. I've talked to a lot of parents on the phone at different times and had dialogue with parents to answer their questions. We have acknowledged that unfortunately there have been some traffic issues since school started, which we anticipated, and have worked with Mount Healthy PD as well as Springfield Township PD on plans for all of our buildings and what that looks like for arrival and dismissal. Those times have decreased every single day. So while there has been a great deal of frustration here at the beginning of the year, I do know that day by day, the buildings are timing their arrival and dismissal, and the minutes are decreasing each day as things get smoother. The city of Mount Healthy and Springfield Township police both said that sometimes having police presence makes things worse in terms of directing traffic or having someone at the four-way stop, for example. The police chose not to do that and felt like that would not help the situation. So we do have a crossing guard at Hamilton and Adams every morning and every afternoon. There are about 12 students who regularly use that in the mornings and the afternoon. That person is keeping track. He's one of our monitors from South. That he is keeping track of who is using that crosswalk at Hamilton and Adams, and typically it's about 12 students, and a lot of their parents are with them as well. So those are just some of the things that we've been working through to try to address the situation with arrival and dismissal. It is going very smooth at the junior-senior high because they have a larger parking lot. to get parents in, and so they're not so backed up. North is a challenge just because of the small lot. We continue to work with Springfield Township Police as well as Hamilton County engineers. I've been in touch with their traffic engineers to talk about what could possibly be done to assist with that situation as well. So we are working actively on it and taking parent phone calls and having those conversations with parents. So anyone who does have concerns, I would just encourage you to reach out to me. You can call my direct line, and I'd be happy to set up meetings at any time.
Thank you. Okay.
Can I give you my information? Because I
Yeah.
have videos of Hamilton and Adams, and there's no crosswalk.
Sure. I'll write down your number.
Make sure that we talk
Okay.
further. I made sure to get videos because I thought that there would be some type of rhetoric that there were
Are
guards
you
and stuff in there.
513?
While they're doing that, I will say I have been stuck in the traffic on Adams outside of South at dismissal time.
And your name is
I mean,
Deborah.
that traffic starts almost an hour before dismissal. So I am going to try to reach out to the city manager. Hopefully, maybe Dr. Wilson could be part of that too. If they just repainted the lines differently than they are, the traffic on Adams would be a lot better than it is. And that doesn't help with the safety of the students, but it helps with that gigantic traffic jam that happens every day. So I had already been thinking about that. So, and I think, did we talk about that? I don't know. I talked to
We've been in
somebody.
touch with the city manager, and
Okay.
yeah, so we are looking at applying. There's a grant, Safe Routes to School, that we're working with the city on. Everything is just a process
Right.
that takes time, and so we'll continue to work towards that and hopefully get some grant funds that allow us to work together with the city to improve some of that.
Well, and with the traffic jam on Adams that happens every day, it's literally just a matter of them repainting the lines slightly differently. So that seems like a thing that could happen relatively easily. So we'll see. I mean, it doesn't help everything, but maybe it would be a start. Okay. Time for the report of the superintendent. Dr. Wilson.
Thank you. So I did want to share that we have received some very generous donation of school supplies from Mount Healthy United Methodist Church, Conger Construction, and Catholic Charities. So we are appreciative of those donations, and we have distributed those to our buildings. It's going in and out. I also wanted to make you aware that through the hard work of Jane Godey, our principal from the ELC, we did get approved by the state as a publicly funded child care. That means that we will be able to accept payments through Job and Family Services, which we'll get a little later in the agenda. We're going to talk about the tuition. Essentially, that allows that to come through Job and Family Services instead of out of the pocket of our parents. So this was in the financial recovery plan and in the workbook as a revenue enhancement. But I just wanted to give you that update that the state did approve us for that publicly funded child care.
Okay.
And then our homecoming parade is October 2nd at 7 p.m. And our homecoming game is October 3rd at 7 p.m. And then I did also want to note that we are having some community information sessions upcoming. So this Friday is going to be our first one. On the 19th, it's from 1 to 1:45 p.m., and it is at Mount Healthy Public Library. Thursday, September 25th, from 7 to 8 p.m. at North Elementary. And Tuesday, September 30th, from 6 to 7 p.m. at the First Baptist Church of Mount Healthy. So at those informational meetings, we'll be sharing some district updates as well as sharing just factual information regarding the upcoming levy.
Okay. The First Baptist Church, is that the one at Daly and
Compton.
Compton?
Yes.
Okay. And the homecoming parade, what was the date again?
It is October 2nd.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I know Jake spoke to this just a little bit, but the work that's being presented tonight does represent, in truth, 16 months worth of work to get this financial recovery plan approved. So if you recall, when we first went into fiscal emergency and the Fiscal Supervision Commission was formed, that financial recovery plan technically is supposed to be in place within 120 days. And there were a lot of hurdles for the district to get through to get some of these items approved. So the items that we're presenting tonight represent the final outstanding items to get that financial recovery plan submitted and approved by the state. So the things that Kristen and Jake have already presented, which include the 5-year forecast, the workbook, along with the narrative, as well as the fiscal policy review. And then I am going to present the budget process here in a few minutes. So I want to thank them for all their hard work, as well as the building principals and our board administrators who have all kind of been collaborating to make sure that we got all of this done. Okay, we'll go on to, I think that's item E. Right? Wait. Oh, C. B, the fiscal budget process. I apologize. Okay. So B is to approve the budgeting process, which you have a narrative in your packet that says at the top, budget narrative. And this describes in detail the process that we have gone through really since August 1st to create a budget process in the Mount Healthy City School District and then hold budget meetings and fully implement that budget process as well. So I will just hit the highlights of this budget narrative. So what you see at the top is the FRP requirement. So what it said in the FRP was that the commission directs the superintendent to lead the development of accurate annual budgets for all funds, to enable the superintendent and other district administrators with spending authority to control spending, proactively manage expenditures, and to eliminate transfers out of the general fund, to subsidize overspending in other funds. The Treasurer's Office will facilitate budget development and review and approve the budget amounts. However, it is the superintendent's responsibility to prioritize programmatic purchases and staffing decisions. So, since August 1st, we, Kristen, Jake, and I have collaborated on exactly what we needed to do to make this process happen. We utilized the form that was introduced, I think, probably sometime last year. So there's a budget request form, and that is in here as one of your exhibits. Exhibit A, I believe, shows you what the zero-based budgeting worksheet looks like. So we shared that form with all of our building principals who are considered sort of the account owners, as well as the administrators here in the Board of Education office who are account owners. They all received that form, and then we also shared with them 3-year spending worksheets that demonstrated what their spending for their specific accounts was over the past 3 years. So they were able to analyze those 3-year spending worksheets and determine trends so that they could decide what requests needed to be made for their FY25 or FY26 budget. We then held a meeting. First, we held a meeting with all of the building principals where we actually had a work session to complete those budget request worksheets. Kristen and Jake and I were all part of that meeting, and we were able to use that work session to answer questions on the spot. So if principals were looking at their 3-year spending worksheet and had questions about that, we could actually look those up and provide additional details during that work session. They submitted all of those worksheets to us, and they were reviewed in our executive cabinet meeting so that we could go through and make notes and determine what was going to be approved and what impact that would have ultimately on the budget. Then we had a separate working session for our board office administrators, and it looked very similar, where they had their 3-year spending and were able to look at trends, determine what needed to be requested as far as their budgets for the year. When we did that, we only looked at, for building principals, supply accounts only. Is that because of me, Michael? Supply accounts only. Am I close enough? Okay. for the buildings, because that's primarily what they're purchasing in the buildings. And then for our central office folks, really supplies and purchase services, which are most of the contracts that you approve over the course of the year are the purchase services. So then those budget request sheets were submitted as well and reviewed with the executive team, and then all provided to the treasurer's office so that our budgets could be adjusted accordingly. So we did all that since August 1st, and we know that it's not perfect because we had to not only create the process, but try to implement the process very quickly to get things in place for FY26 to meet this requirement so that we could be finished and present this to you in September. However, we have a timeline that we included in your narrative that shows that we are going to start the process for budgeting for next year for FY27 in October and November. So we'll actually start having those conversations at that time and looking at, okay, what is required, what is needed due to ORC, what is a nice to have, what is something we would love to have, and looking at what those requests are and what kind of funds can be budgeted for that accordingly. We are also getting ready to implement SCView. So I know you've been hearing a lot about SCView really for over a year now. SCView is ready to go live. The treasurer's office has been working on getting that up and running. So we have a meeting scheduled for next Thursday with everyone who will be utilizing SCView to get trained. And then the following week, we will implement SCView in its entirety. So we'll have a new process that we're using for submitting requisitions and converting them, essentially approving them and converting them into purchase orders. Myself and the treasurer are the final approvers for every single item that comes through. Every single requisition will first go to the account owner. So that will be either a building principal or a board office administrator. Once they approve, it will come to myself, and then once I approve, it will go to Jake. And at that point, then it can be converted into a PO. So we know that the appropriate people have looked at it. We know that it's in the financial recovery plan at that point. We know that it's either a necessity or something required by law, so that then Karen over in the treasurer's office can approve that and turn that into the PO so that they can move forward. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else for SCView. I think that wraps up SCView. We will also send monthly, quarterly financial reports to all of those account owners that we've talked about, and they'll be able to actually see in real time whether or not those POs have been approved. So rather than having to, that right now there's not really a process in place for that, so there's a lot of follow-up that is needed, and sometimes we don't know which requisitions have been converted or which ones should be converted. So this will eliminate all of that kind of back and forth and streamline that process. We also have the option to send something back. So if one of the account owners, for example, one of the principals sees a requisition that is entered by someone in their building that they have not discussed with them, they can send that back and request additional information or say, we need to have a meeting to talk about this. So the workflow is embedded in there electronically so that all that can happen electronically before it gets to myself and to Jake. The last exhibit, Exhibit 3, is just an example of that 3-year spending report. And then there is an appendix that was sent to you in your email. It is like 90 pages long, so we did not print that out. But if you would like to review all of the budget request worksheets, as well as the 3-year spending Excel sheets, you can do so in that appendix. Does anyone have any questions about the budget process? Okay.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the fiscal budget process?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion?
So
In terms of the approval process that you guys are following, I've heard that both the treasurer's office and the superintendent's office get that. So do both of you are required to sign off before it is, okay?
Yep.
Correct.
And we can also send it back. Say it somehow skips through the, say, a building admin level, and they miss something. If we catch it, we can send it back to them saying, hey, you need to request from whoever sent it, documentation be attached. So we still have the option to send it back as well. It's not like it's just that it comes to us and we click and move on.
Revise it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, comments, discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant? Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the next item is item C, which is to approve our preschool program fees. And this goes along with that publicly funded childcare that I mentioned earlier. So the recommendation is to charge $200 per student per month for attending the Mount Healthy preschool program. As I mentioned, with us being the publicly funded childcare, parents will apply for, and then if they qualify, receive that tuition via JFS. So it will flow to us from JFS rather than coming directly out of parents' pockets as long as they qualify, which the majority, given that we're a 100% free and reduced lunch district or free lunch district, the majority of our parents, we believe, will qualify.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the charge of $200 per month going through, what's the name of the?
Publicly funded childcare.
Thank you. Publicly funded childcare. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Kilgore, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Do we have a sense of what revenue, how much revenue that's going to
So,
generate?
yep, what we captured in the workbook was $64,000 a year. If, you know, every single typical student who was in the preschool paid the $200 per month,
Is
Okay.
this all day or half the day?
half the day.
All right. Any further discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item D is a recommendation to approve the resignations listed below.
Do I have a motion to accept the resignations?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item E is to approve the certified personnel listed below.
Okay, I have a motion to approve hiring or approve the contract, whatever it is, for the certified personnel listed.
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion?
I will just note that you also saw that same name on the resignations. That person had not been previously approved by the board. They were kind of a late hire, came for a few days, and then decided that this was probably not for them, and so went ahead and resigned. So that's why you're seeing both on the same
Okay.
night.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant? Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item F is to approve the classified personnel listed below.
Do I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Bryant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item G is to approve the contract change and transfers that are listed, and these are to switch these positions from paraprofessionals over to monitors based on the needs of the building.
Okay, do I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Bryant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Carter. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant? Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item H is to approve our supplemental positions for the year. So these are all of our coaches. This is quite a list because this is for the whole year, and it's our coaches for all of our sports and extracurriculars and clubs and different things.
There's nothing new, right? Compared to-
Nothing new. Everything that's in here is cost neutral, all in the FRP, same as last year. We did that pretty extensive review of all of our supplementals, and so that's reflected here.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Did you say so moved? Yes, ma'am. Moved by Ms. Bryant,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. Item I is to approve our 21st Century Grant After School Program employees. So these all serve in the 21st Century program, which is after school at the junior, senior high. It's called After Owlers. There's a variety of programs and courses that students can sign up for. If they stay, they also get a meal. So these are those staff members that are participating in that, and all of these get paid out of the grant.
That's all right. Grant funded.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Bryant. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Okay, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Item 6 is open discussion by the Board of Education. Does anyone have anything that they wish to discuss? Looks like no. Item 7 is executive session. We have an executive session situation to consider. What purpose are we putting?
The employment of a public employee or official.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'm going to say motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yeah.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. Okay, going into executive session at 7:29. I believe we may have to take a vote after the executive session. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to. If you want to leave, you're more than welcome to do that too. For anyone who's leaving, thank you for coming. We'll be back.
been the same exact problem, so.
I mean, any new process is gonna have snags right away, right?
All right. We are back. Oh, I forgot to turn my microphone off. Poor batteries. We are back at 7:52. Okay. So we are going to, I would like us to amend the agenda again, so I am looking for a motion and a second to amend the agenda. We have two items. Let me explain what they are first. I mean, I know you know, one of them at least. So the first one would be to discuss the unpaid leave of the treasurer, and the second one would be to fix, what page is that on, Lavonda? Oh, you can't tell me the page because there are no page numbers. Okay. Resignations. Right. The first one should be listed as a termination. So just so that everything is legal and appropriate, we are going to re-vote on that one alone, just to reflect that. So, do I have a motion to, let me get on the right page. Motion to amend the agenda again to address those two items.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Could we take a vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Okay, so the first item will be the unpaid leave for the treasurer. Do we want to, do we need better language than that? That was probably not worded very well.
So it'll be item D, I believe, correct? Will be the addition, and then it will be to approve placing the treasurer on unpaid leave, starting Friday, this past Friday, which would have been the 12th.
The 12, yes.
Is there an ending date?
There's not.
Okay. So a motion to approve placing the treasurer on unpaid leave beginning September 12th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Kilgore, Ms. Bryant, any discussion? Could we have a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. And then the second one is to correct the vote that we took earlier, just to make sure that we are 100% accurate in our votings. I lost the page again. Okay. We voted to accept the following resignations, and actually Carrie Baker should have been a termination rather than a resignation, so we're just going to re-vote on that. Do I have a motion to approve the termination of that employee?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Bryant, seconded by Mr. Carter. Any discussion? Could we take a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. Okay. Our next item is to appoint Great Oaks Career Campus's representative for their governing board. First, I will read the resolution. Whereas Great Oaks Career Campuses, Great Oaks Joint Vocational School District, has a vacancy on its board, whereas Mount Healthy City Schools is a member of the Great Oaks Career Campus's JVSD and is authorized by the Great Oaks Plan on file with the State Board of Education to appoint an individual to fill the vacancy, whereas Mount Healthy City Schools has reviewed the statutory requirements for making the appointment, including those in Ohio Revised Code 3311.19 as amended. Members of the Joint Vocational School District Board may either be a current elected board member or an individual who has experience or knowledge regarding the labor needs of the state and region with an understanding of the skills, training, and education needs for current and future employment opportunities in the state. The appointing board may give preference to individuals who have served as members on a joint vocational school business advisory committee. Whereas Mount Healthy City Schools has performed and documented its due diligence in considering the appointee's qualifications, including the appointee's qualification to meet legal requirements to serve, now therefore be it resolved that Mount Healthy City Schools appoints Stephanie Anderson to the Great Oaks Career Campus's governing board for a 3-year term of office to commence January 1st, 2026, and expire on December 31st, 2028. I assume Stephanie's on board with this? Okay, this isn't just a congratulations.
You weren't here.
Do I have a motion to appoint Ms. Anderson as our Great Oaks Career Campus's governing board representative for the next 3 years?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Carter, seconded by Mr. Kilgore. Any discussion? Anybody else just dying to do it instead? Didn't think so. Could we have a vote, please?
Ms. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. Okay. Date of the next Board of Education meeting is October 13th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The upcoming commission meeting is September 24th at 5:30 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
Second.
All over the place. We'll say Mr. Carter, so moved by Ms. Bryant, seconded by Mr. Carter. Any discussion? And we can just say all in favor. Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay. And we are adjourned at, come on, phone, 8 o'clock. Okay.